So now we are doing the NFL power rankings, the top 10 teams in the NFL as the rosters sit right now. As they sit right now, things can change. And we're going to do this at least 2 or 3 more times before the season starts. So things could change. June 1 is right around the corner. There's going to be some more cuts. There's going to be some more guys let go. So let's look at the list. We're going to start at number 10. And we're going to go from 10 to 1. At number 10, we got the Cleveland Browns. And I know what a lot. First of all, it pains me to put the Browns on there. Although the Browns think the Steelers are their rival, the Steelers don't think the Browns are our rival. Okay? That's number 1. So I apologize, all, Browns fans. I know I give you a hard time, and you deserve it. You deserve it. You deserve the hard time that I give you. But that's just the way that it goes. I got the Browns. Look, the Browns defense is crazy. It didn't get worse. I think it got better. And if Deshaun Watson can play just decent, everybody wants to say, whoa, well, they were 4-1 when he was playing. Man, stop it, Browns fans. You know and I know Deshaun Watson played a half of good football last year. One half. That was that Ravens game where he was lights out in the second half. In the first half, he was terrible. But in the second half, he was outstanding, and they won. If he can just play good football, he doesn't even have to play great. Just good football. The Browns got something, man. They got something. So, but they are number 10 as of now. Number 9, I got the Cowboys. And a lot of people, and I'll just say this, I'll say it out loud. The uneducated NFL fan believes that, well, the Cowboys are worse because they didn't do anything in free agency. Well, they didn't have to do that much. Look, the Cowboys are a good team. They just got a quarterback that gets into the playoffs that panics and a defense that was a little bit overrated that says, you know what, we get in the play, and they completely fell apart in the playoffs. So that's my thing. So I think the Cowboys are at number 9. I like the Cowboys. I like I said, I don't think they're going to win the division, but they're still one of the better teams in the National Football League. They're still one of the better teams in the National Football League. So, yes, come on over, man. Again, come on over. It's free. It's already frozen up 2 times. It's going to freeze up a third. Come on over. Click that live link, man. That's in the bio. But I think the Cowboys are still a good football team. And the 2 things that they couldn't do last year, they couldn't run the football with power. They brought back Zeke. Even though Zeke is a shell of himself, they brought him back, and he'll be fine. He is what they need. He's a compliment, so he's what they need. And then they shored up that run game. Now, the offensive line, we'll see. But the Cowboys are a good team. They're a good team. Number 8, and this one's going to shock a lot of people. I don't care. I'm standing on it. The New York Jets. I think the Jets did what they needed to do in the offseason. They've got veterans. First of all, let's start here. That defense is crazy. Okay? And they somehow, they win 7 games last year with Zach Wilson as their quarterback. Lord have mercy. If Aaron Rodgers comes back at 50% of what he was before, that is 10 times better than what Zach Wilson is. So that's number 1. Number 2, their offensive line is much better than the offensive line from last year. Number 3, they added more weapons. I'm telling you now, first of all, I think the Jets should be favored in their division. I don't know why enough people aren't talking about that. They should be favored in their division because you can't tell me that if this was last year and the Jets had the same roster to start the year, they would have been favored in that division last year. People are crazy. The Jets are going to be fine. They're going to be fine. I like the Jets at number 8. I like the Jets at number 8. Let's go to a couple of comments before we move on here. My man Pierre Land. We know what's going on, man. We love this guy. Thank you for coming back to the show. If Deshaun Watson can figure out how to get back to some semblance of his Houston self, the Browns can make something happen. Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I think that year that everybody talks about him going crazy, I think it's overrated because they were 4-12 that year. So, they didn't win a whole bunch of games, but he played well, didn't throw a lot of picks, was pretty efficient, but they didn't win. But if he can figure it out and get back to a little bit of that, the Browns got something. The Browns got something. So let's go to number 7. Let's go to actually, nope. My man Pierre Land's got another question or a statement. The Jets need a QB and they can win the division. They got Aaron Rodgers. I mean, come on now. Come on now. They got Aaron Rodgers. And here's the thing. Aaron Rodgers at 50% of what he was in Green Bay, if he plays 50% of that, then they would have won the division last year with the way that defense plays. So they got a quarterback. They're going to make it happen. They're going to make it happen, in my opinion. And again, this is as of right now. Let's move on to number 7. The Houston Texans. Houston surprised everybody last year. Surprised everybody. Outstanding quarterback, outstanding defense, playmakers all over the field. And what do? They don't do what Jacksonville. Remember Jacksonville in 2022? Jacksonville did the same thing. Surprised everybody. Won the division a year before anybody thought they could. Won a playoff game. And then Jacksonville decided in the offseason, you know what we're going to do? Nothing. And that's what they did. They brought in Calvin Ridley off of a trade and nothing else. They didn't shore up an O-line. They didn't do anything on defense. They didn't do anything in free agency. They did nothing. And they paid the price for it. Houston, on the other hand, said, nope, we got to get better. We're good right now, but we got an opportunity to get better. And that's what they did. In not only in free agency, on offense and defense, through the draft. Houston, number 7. And this might be low for Houston people. This might be low. But look out. Houston is on their way. They're on their way. Number 6, the Philadelphia Eagles. I love what the Eagles did. Eagles said, our personnel on defense sucks. We got to get better. They did. They made a tough decision with Hassan Reddick. Then they replaced him. They had no secondary. Their secondary was trash. They're replacing them. The Eagles are trying to get back. And I think they will. I think they're going to win the division. I think they're better than the Cowboys. The other division is trash, Washington. Although Washington will be a little bit better, but the Giants, trash. So, yeah, I like what they're doing. I like the Eagles at number 6 right now. I like the Eagles. Again, don't blow me up. Don't blow me up. The bottom line is this is where we are as of right now. As of right now. Number 5, the 49ers. Don't care what you say. 49ers are going to take a step back. They're going to take a step back. A lot of turmoil, a lot of contracts that need to be redone. You know, sometimes that gets in people's heads. So, and we'll find out. We'll find out. You know, can Brock Purdy have a third season? You can't say that he didn't have 2. Well, he had 1.5. Can he do it again? Maybe. But I don't think it's just Brock Purdy thing. The defense. If anybody paid attention to the defense, they didn't stop the run. Now, I know everybody wants to blame Steve Wilkes, but that wasn't his fault. Guys were hurt. Guys didn't play well, and losing out on Greenlaw, him blowing out his Achilles in the Super Bowl? That's going to be an issue. That's a February injury. When's he going to be 100%? By the middle of November? Somewhere around there? And I'm not even saying he won't start the season. I'm saying, when will he be back? I don't think it's going to be until at least Thanksgiving, as far as 100%. So we'll see. So we will see. But let's move on. Number 4, the Detroit Lions. Yes. You got to give the Lions their due. You have got to give the Lions their due. They were good last year. They've upgraded. They moved up in the draft. They got aggressive in the draft, said we need cornerback help. They did. They've addressed the needs. The Lions are trying to win it. The Lions are like, hey, man, we got in our own way last year from going to the Super Bowl. Let's not do that again. Let's not do that again. Dan Campbell got to take a break from trying to go for it on 4th down every time. Sometimes it's okay to punt. Sometimes it's okay to take a field goal. Don't be the new Brandon Staley. Okay? Stop the nonsense and go do your thing. Stop the nonsense and go do your thing. But I like the Lions. You know, y'all remember, wasn't it last year that everybody kept talking about the Lions, that they were trying to replace Jared Goff and said that Jared Goff wasn't a good quarterback? And you don't hear that this year, do you? You haven't heard that this offseason, have you? Only thing you hear about Jared Goff is extension. And I questioned it last year. I'm like, why are you guys in such a hurry for the Lions to get rid of this guy? I mean, he threw for over 30 touchdowns, over 4,000 yards. I mean, what else are you looking for in a quarterback? And then he goes and does it again. Yeah, Jared Goff is fine. They're fine. They got the best offensive line in the NFL. They got 2 very, very good running backs. They got weapons on the outside. I'm just telling you. So the Lions, man, the Lions got something. At number 3, the Packers. I like the Packers. Them and the Lions fighting for that NFC North division is going to be crazy. Jordan Love, the last 9 games, there's an argument to be made, and I think it's a solid one. Jordan Love was the best quarterback in the NFL the last 9 games. I mean, the last 9 games of the year, you can easily say that Jordan Love was the best quarterback in the NFL. And people are going to say, well, what are you talking about? Go back and look. Didn't start off the year good. Did not. Started off shaky. Started off inconsistent. But the last 9 games, he got it figured out. And Lord have mercy, did he turn it on. Turned it on. So, but I like Green Bay. Again, another team addressed offensive line where they needed help. They addressed the defense where they needed help. I like, they got young quarterback, young receivers. I like what Green Bay's doing. Before we get to the last 2, go to a couple comments. My man Pierre Land says, Jordan Love is an early similar trajectory to Rodgers in his first few years. You can say that. I don't like doing that, but you can say that. You could absolutely say that. He's playing good. My man Lee says, maybe I missed it. You're telling me the Steelers are not in the top 10. No. The Steelers are not in the top 10. How could the Steelers be in the top 10? Not now. And y'all know me. I'm a diehard Steelers fan. There's no way the Steelers can be in the top 10 at this point. Look at their quarterback. Yes, their quarterback is better than the previous year. It absolutely is. The quarterback play is going to be better. But we haven't seen it. We got to at least see it. From all these other teams, we've seen. And if we're being honest about the Browns roster is better than the Steelers. It just is. Doesn't mean they're going to, because, again, we always sweep them. Or we always go 1-1 against the Browns. But let's just be honest. Let's be honest about that. So it is what it is. Let's move on. Number 2, the Baltimore Ravens. I think I mean, that's an easy one for me. The Ravens. It is Lamar Jackson. Look, this is tough because I'm a Lamar Jackson fan, but I'm a diehard Steeler fan. But Lamar Jackson is the guy. But at some point, Lamar, you got to get it done in the playoffs. That's the only thing missing from the Ravens and Lamar Jackson. Playoffs. Playoffs. And I know a bunch of people say that's the only thing that matters. Well, no, it isn't. First of all, you got to get to the playoffs, don't you? I mean, if you don't play good and you don't get to the playoffs, then what will people say? That's the whole thing. I mean, that's why fans, it's just like, come on, man. The playoffs can't be the only thing that matters. Are the playoffs more important? Absolutely. 100%. But it can't be the only thing that matters, because if you play mediocre in the regular season and you don't make the playoffs, then you'll say, well, they're a mediocre quarterback. Now people are saying that Lamar Jackson is a mediocre quarterback because they haven't been to the Super Bowl. What? I just don't understand that. You're mediocre or bad because, hey, you haven't been to the Super Bowl, so you're not any good. You're not any good. The only good quarterbacks have been to the Super Bowl. If you haven't been to the Super Bowl, you're not any good. I just, oh, my God. But that's more the young fans that say that. That's not fans that have a little bit of age to them or maybe a little bit of sense to them. You don't see those fans out there screaming that the only thing that matters is the postseason. That's what the young fan has been conditioned to think, that if you don't go to the Super Bowl, not, hey, you're in the playoffs, you play good in the playoffs. No. If you don't go to the Super Bowl, you are not any good. You're washed. You're washed. So, but Lamar's got to get it done in the playoffs. He does. That's the only thing missing. But in the regular season, he's been lights out, except when it comes to the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers have Lamar Jackson's number. The Steelers have his number. I don't know what it is. I think it's more the game plan. Now, last year, I can point to what it was. What they dropped, 3 touchdown passes? Yeah. Now, he made some bad mistakes. He threw an interception in the end zone, but they dropped 3 touchdown passes against the Steelers. So, but whatever. We beat you. End of story. Too bad, so sad. Bye-bye. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. So, oh well. And then lastly, number 1 team, the Kansas City Chiefs. The Kansas City Chiefs. Until somebody beats them, I'm not taking them out of the number 1 spot. Here's the only way that I'm going to take the Chiefs out of the number 1 spot. All year, they have to be eliminated from playoff contention. And what I mean by that is, I don't care if they win the division. I don't care if they're the wild card. The Chiefs are going to be in my number 1 spot for power rankings until they are eliminated from contention of winning a Super Bowl. Because we have seen what they can do with a mediocre offensive roster. They were still able to go win a Super Bowl. Can they do it again? We'll find out. We'll find out. But I'm not taking them out of that spot. I'm just not going to do it. We tried to do that last year, didn't we? When they kept losing those games in the regular season. The offense looked bad, and it was bad. Receivers dropping everything, smoking. And lo and behold, they picked it up, put it together, and went out and just won a Super Bowl. That's all they did. They just went and won a Super Bowl. So I'm not taking them out of the spot. I'm just not going to do it. I'm just not going to do it. Oh, and by the way, the Chiefs got better. Yeah, their offseason, the Chiefs got better. They got better. You can say what you want about Rashee Rice, him not being there, and he was their best receiver, technical receiver over the course of the year, even though he started off the season shaky. But Marquise Brown is better than him. And I'm not a big Marquise Brown fan, but he's better than him. Xavier Worthy is going to be a lot better than what people believe that he is. Xavier Worthy is a guy that is not just, okay, just throw it as far as you can and he'll go run and catch it. He can do that, but he can run the entire route tree. He can run the entire route tree. And I believe that's how the Chiefs are going to use him. I just think that's how they're going to use him. Quick slants. I don't know a whole lot of dig routes because he's not big. Comebacks, over routes. There's a whole lot that Xavier Worthy's going to be doing. Whole lot. Post corners, flag, a lot of stuff, man. A lot of stuff. But yeah, Chiefs got better. They got better. And it's frightening to see. It's frightening to see. My man Ruben says, Houston, number 2. I'm biased. I get it. Be biased, man. Be biased. There ain't nothing wrong with that. There ain't nothing wrong with that. But they're not the number 2 team. They're not the number 2 team. But, and you maybe you missed this, Ruben, because you probably just got in. This is where the power rankings are right now. And you know we're going to do this at least 2 or 3 more times before the season starts. So in 3 weeks, it may be totally different. In a month and a half, it's more than likely going to be different. So this is just where we sit today. Today. Down the road, who knows? Who knows? But this is where we're at. Would you guys like it? Dislike it? Let me know. Let me know. Anybody you think needs to be moved around? Somebody you guys disagree with? KC got better. Scary. Yeah, it is. It is. They got better. And I think everybody's worried about their left tackle. I don't think the Chiefs are worried about their left tackle. I think Wanya Morris, who they drafted last year, I think they love him. And not to mention, he played good last year when he got his opportunity. He just got hurt and got a concussion. I'm not positive he wouldn't have kept the job had he not gotten a concussion and gotten hurt moving into the playoffs. I'm not sure that they would have went back to Donovan Smith. I'm just not positive of that. I'm not. So we'll see. So the Chiefs are going to need a new RB1. Why? Why? I mean, what, Pacheco's not going to be there? Why do they need another one? And even if they do, we've seen the Chiefs win, 3 Super Bowls with 2, 3 different running backs? So they can find one. To do what they need to do, they'll find one. They will find one. Man, Sideshow. Have a great day, fellas. About to walk into this school. We appreciate you, man. Thank you for taking the time to be here, Sideshow. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. But yeah, man, these are the rankings for right now. These are the rankings for right now. So we got Kansas City 1, Baltimore 2, Green Bay 3, Detroit 4, 49ers 5, Eagles 6, Houston number 7, New York Jets number 8, Dallas Cowboys 9, and then rounding out the top 10, the Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns. Subject to change. Subject to change. But what is today? The 9th of May? This is where I sit.